I nearly failed my first year of medical school, got 54% despite working harder than anyone I knew. Yes, it felt like crap, but that same evening, I rebuilt my entire study process from scratch, and that is what then led me to score a distinction in the very next exam. But you know what? I'm sick of giving you polished, perfect study methods because it would have never helped me that day. So what I'm doing instead, what no one does, is I'm showing you the exact messy process that I went through, how I put myself on trial, and how I fixed my study process. And I'm doing it live, as you can see right now on camera. And I don't want to show you my own way right now because that's not useful. I want to take you back to that evening and what I did then, because that me didn't know what was right. He didn't know the answer to solving this. And don't get too relaxed because I want you to do the same thing with your own study process. I've made a template especially for you, especially for this, so you can, by the end of this video, fix your learning process just like I did that evening. Every one of your study systems should have these three general big parts. But the important part that I want you to do now is write down what you do in each of these parts, what you do to get a general idea, to prime yourself. What do you do when you're trying to understand the knowledge? And what do you do to test yourself, to retrieve that knowledge? And by the way, that's not it. There's a fourth part as well, a very, very important one that has single-handedly helped me do very well in exams. I'll talk more about that at the end. Now this was every part of my actual study process at the time, and it looks good on paper, right? But the fact is I got a 54% and it didn't work. That honestly scared me shitless because it worked in the past. This exact system got me top 1% grades at the end of my biomed year. And I've been teaching this to people on YouTube as well. It's been working for them. So what's happened? And the thing is, after I thought through each of these stages and asked myself some very important questions, which I'll give you and go through in a minute, what I realized was that all of this was fake. It is only what ideal me did. The reality was that these 10 to 15 questions gave me a small idea of what was gonna come up. But to be honest, doing them just gave me false confidence. The skimming I was doing wasn't thorough either. Then here, the reality was that reading these summarized notes I thought would save me time, but because they were so dense, because I was stuck on every single line and trying to force my brain to understand it, it just ended up taking way longer than these 60 to 90 minutes. It was like 3 hours plus. It was mindless. And then when I was revising, the reality was that the recall questions that I was making and doing sound like they're amazing, sound like it's a very good idea, and it sounded like that to me for years. But eventually when the content got too hard, I was making too many of them and doing it too early as well. And at that stage, I didn't know what was important. So what would happen is I'd flip back and end up spending most of my time rereading the wrong concepts here, rather than spending my time actually testing myself because the questions weren't good enough to test myself. And then because that was so boring and so mindless, I ended up avoiding revision altogether. Now, I didn't just reach these conclusions magically. That evening and the next few evenings, I continuously thought about where I was screwing up, what was happening. But more importantly, there were 4 questions that I kept on asking myself while I was reflecting on my process, and I want you to be doing the same thing. What is the purpose of each big step? The priming, the constructing, and the retrieval. What is the purpose of it? What does it do? Then you look at each activity, each thing, each step that you're doing. What does that activity or method accomplish? What does it do? And then you also look at it again and say, what doesn't it do? What am I doing here that isn't really working, that isn't accomplishing that original purpose? And then lastly, you say, what can we do to improve the activity? Basically, I'm just asking myself, what is actually helping me do the priming, do the understanding, and then do the testing properly? And what am I just doing because it looks like fake productivity and it's making me feel good? And after I figured all of this out, figured out all of these different things that I was messing up in each and every step, I genuinely remember feeling like crap because I felt like I couldn't trust myself. And I'm saying this because I know this is something that each and every one of you has gone through in your lifetime, because you looked at this and you thought this was the right thing to be doing. This has worked before. Why has it not worked now? But the problem, and it took me a couple of days to realize this, wasn't that I was wrong about all of this. It was that I didn't do this earlier on and I didn't course correct. It was that I never properly changed what wasn't working. So instead of doing some, massive rebuild, I'm gonna change everything, my study process will transform overnight, all I did was decide, what is the simplest, smallest step improvement that I can make to make each of these major steps do their job? And to be honest, I didn't just guess what I had to do next and what improvements I have to make. I read learning science books, I watched videos, and I did actual research into the science of how my brain worked while it was learning. Genuinely, I read so many papers. I wanted to know what was the best way to absorb info while you're reading. What is the best way to test yourself? All of the stuff that I now know very well was done through hours of effort there. And I'm not saying you need to spend out hours to figure out your improvements, but if I were you, I would go on something like Consensus and search up retrieval practices that improve learning. I would read through how cognitive overload works when you're learning. I would even try and understand the concepts of layering information, how concept mapping works. Just, it is one search away. Because Consensus is a platform that literally will go through millions of research papers and give you the most important and the most relevant information that you're looking for. That is why I would recommend it. And also it's verified. It goes through actual literature, actual studies that have been done on people, on real things. It's not just Fugazi science and articles. So my suggestion is use the link in my description. You get a certain time off the premium subscription and actually spend a few hours. You don't have to spend a few hours, even like half an hour will do, because you will start to understand how your brain works, what learning is. Because let me tell you, spending half an hour doing research into the process and learning more and more about learning was one of the most useful things I've done. It allowed me to get better and faster with my studying process throughout medical school again and again, so that with all of my free time, I could build business, I could make money, I could have hobbies, I could spend time with my family, my friends, and actually do the things that I want to do and not spend my 20s trapped in a library. That is the whole point of this video. I want to teach you to speed your learning up, because it is not something that should take up your entire day. It is not something that should take up months. It is the whole point of what we do on this channel. But once you do that research, by the way, you can't just be the guy who just like reads and doesn't actually do anything. So you need to be making those small improvements to each part of that process side by side. And what I'm about to show you is that exactly how I did that realistically, that evening that I got that crap grade. Now, because the job of priming is to build up your basics of the topic, I thought, and I was learning a bit about concept maps at this time, I thought that instead of just thinking through the basics while I'm reading in my head, why don't I just write down all the key concepts that I think are very important on a page and then link them together, like a small map of the basics, so that I have a way to think about it when I'm studying later on. And by the way, I also wanted to move these 15 to 20 questions at the end of the study session, because I think that's just where it makes sense to go. So for you, the message is, if priming isn't something that you're already doing, then start doing it. And instead of thinking like I did, oh, I just need to skim the topic for 10 minutes and I'll get the basics immediately, skim with intentionality and think, with what I've read, can I now draw and explain the basic idea behind the topic that I've just skimmed? Now, the constructing part was a bit dicey, because at the time I remember I was just thinking, okay, to avoid getting stuck, instead of just reading that one summarized notes page, which was like very complex and very detailed and very brief, why don't I actually read the textbook, use online resources, do a bit of a mix and improve my understanding that way? Which was good in theory, and I tried it for a few sessions, but it wasn't practical and it didn't really help, and it more so slowed me down because I was getting confused by different things. What did help learning is two things. Number one, to dive deeper into the concepts that I already have understood. And I used to use online searches, but I now use Consensus. Yes, they're sponsoring this video, but for this, they're very good. You can ask very specific questions to compare different treatments of diseases, see what's actually worked in real life. And that to me is very important, considering I am a new doctor that is going to be treating patients very soon. But regardless, doing these deeper dives feeds your curiosity about a specific thing that you're learning. And when you figure out that why behind the thing that you're learning, that is when your understanding will truly click. And that's something that really did work for me. The second thing I was doing was that I was skipping very intentionally the harder concepts as soon as I didn't understand them. And over time, that became more strict and led me to break my learning up into levels, into layers. That is the concept that I've been teaching on this channel for the last 2-3 years, where we strictly divide our reading into only reading the basics, then the general concepts, and only then going through the harder details in ways that your brain can easily understand. So for you, if constructing a good understanding of the topic is weak, ask yourself, what layer of information do you get stuck at? Is it the general one? Do you get stuck at the harder concepts? Do you get stuck at the basics? Because that is the sign that you should probably break that layer that you get stuck on into other layers, into multiple layers, and go deeper and take it in more layers. And then the last part, for the testing, for the revising of this material, just making and doing the recall questions didn't maximize me testing myself, clearly. So instead, I'm lazy. I changed it to testing using methods that don't require me to make questions. From past papers, from question documents, from question banks, simply even covering the book or the laptop and then talking through out loud what I've learned. And if you remember, I mentioned giving you that final, very specific, most helpful step in all of this that in hindsight was my biggest mistake and the easiest way I could have avoided getting that grade pretty much. And that was to focus on exam-specific revision. But this should not be at the end. This should be right at the beginning, before you even do the priming, constructing, testing. Instead of just hoping that this revision that you're doing is gonna get you the grades. What I should have done is gone and put more effort into finding the exam questions, figuring out what exactly is being tested, how it's being tested, and then work backwards. Design my revision according to what comes out most common. Not the most common topic, because yes, topics sometimes are split equally into questions, but the most specific subtopics that come up, the most common subtopics that come up. To use the specific phrasing of questions if you're doing like an essay thing, to use your mark schemes to figure out what your weaknesses are and basically work backwards. I now make like a prioritization table, a triage table of all of the topics, with the x-axis being the common and the less common stuff, and the y-axis being my weaknesses versus not my weaknesses. And I prioritize the order in which I study topics, which if I did at that stage and did it properly, I can guarantee I would have like left this method ages back, and I would have figured out that the actual way to study for this exam is probably diving a bit deeper into questions, doing less of this reading through specific stuff, getting a deeper understanding. Because once you figure out what you have to do, what you're actually studying for, the rest of your system would have adapted. What I want to emphasize is that I didn't just magically come up with all of this stuff. Again, all I did was after every study session, literally I asked myself those 4 questions. Actually, I firstly asked, what is the weakest big step for me? Based on that weakness, I reminded myself, okay, what is the purpose of this big step now? Whether that's priming, whether that's constructing, whether that's retrieving. What is the purpose of those steps? You know them. What do I already do there? What do I not do there? What feels like productive but isn't productive? And what can I do? What is the smallest thing I can do to improve it in my very next study session? To be honest, a bad grade can feel like you're not good enough. And what I want to say before I finish, I want to speak to that one person who screwed up an exam, who didn't do as well as they wanted to, who wanted to rebuild what they're doing and do it quickly. If you get a bad grade, honestly, I know how it feels, because it feels like you've just given yourself proof that you're not good enough. It's a hit on your ego a little bit. You want to prove to yourself that you can do it, so you will work extremely hard, that you need to put extreme amounts of hours in order to get good grades in the next one. But what you need to realize is that grade is not a reflection of your IQ, of how you think, about anything. It is a pure reflection of the quality of your learning. That is it. Because that quality wasn't good enough, let's face it. But once you know how to critique, rebuild, and continuously improve your process, you become far more capable and take charge for the first time, like I did that day. You take charge of your process, you do your research, you figure out exactly what is the best next step for you, you reflect. And this time, for the first time, you have autonomy and you don't just follow what the teachers and what everyone else is telling you to do. Genuinely, do what I did today. Download the template from the description, enter your email address, you'll get it completely for free, delivered to your email inbox within a couple minutes, and put that effort. Because if you're still here, you're honestly more capable than 92% of the people that clicked on this video. Wishing you the best of luck. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, do the usual stuff, and I will see you in the next one.